game dissolved into chaos. Later, as Jazz and Bee sat in their apartment, Pip burst in, beaming. I sold everything, even the display case. I'm going to quit my job tomorrow. Jazz buried his face in his hands. Oh, no, not Jack, not Reggie. He has enough lipstick to last him for 10 years. Suddenly, police sirens wailed outside. 2 officers entered the Sunflower Suites, responding to a noise complaint. They found Jazz still in his apartment, clutching the empty Everbloom elixirs box. Good evening, officer, Jazz stammered, trying to look innocent. What do you think you're doing? The officer asked, eyeing the lipstick-stained box. We don't like those kind of games in Coral Cove. Jazz knew the jig was up. Okay, no questions. I'm going to level with you. You are no good at selling, Pip. I rigged it up with Ronnie. I told everyone at the poker game. Jack, I've already told her everything, Bee interjected, looking exasperated. Jazz stared. You did. He turned to Pip, bracing for her anger. Well, don't hate me too much, Pip. I was just... Pip, however, looked at him with adoration. I just think you're wonderful, Jazz. Anybody who cares enough about me to go to all that trouble has to be a wonderful person. Jazz, momentarily stunned, managed a sheepish grin. Well, like I said, no more lies. Yes, I am wonderful. Yeah, you are, Pip agreed. But you sure look silly wearing that box. Jazz looked down, realizing he was still clutching the empty display case. You're right. Maybe I better take it off. Hell. Chapter 3. The Assertiveness Academy and Floral Fiasco. The following week, Jazz was summoned to the office of Chancellor Alistair Blackwood, the stern and imposing head of the Gilded Spatula Institute, where Jazz was a culinary student. Tripper, Chancellor Blackwood boomed, a man whose voice could curdle milk. Send Mr. Finch in. Jazz, flustered, rushed in, nearly tripping over his own feet. Look, Chancellor Blackwood, I don't know why you called me in, but whatever I did, it wasn't me. Oh, I'm sorry. I was making a chocolate cake when you called and I rushed right over. He nervously offered a piece of cake, which the Chancellor eyed with suspicion. Never mind that, Finch. Blackwood waved a dismissive hand. I'm going to pay you a high compliment. This Saturday, I'm having a few friends in for a gourmet dinner, and I want you to cook it. Jazz's eyes lit up. Really, sir? Wow. This Saturday I was going out with Serena Sterling, but I'm sure she understands. After all, a Job's a Job and the money'll come in handy. Chancellor Blackwood chuckled mirthlessly. Funny, Finch. No, now you're still a student. You wouldn't want to damage your amateur standing, would you? Jazz's face fell. Well, no, but that's a lot of work. And for no money at all, sir. That's not fair. How much longer have you got before you graduate, Finch? A year. You want it to be a happy one, don't you? Blackwood's voice was laced with an unspoken threat. I'll see you this Saturday. A simple 7-course dinner will be adequate. Back at the Sunflower Suites, Jazz recounted his ordeal to Bee and Pip. I just can't say no to him. He's one of those people who sounds so positive, a real authority figure, and that always wipes me out. Boy, Jazz, you've got to learn how to say no. Be commiserated. You sound like my brother, Bartholomew, the big dictator. Who teaches that? Jazz asked, desperate. My mother. On my first date, Pip offered. She went along with me. Bee, ignoring Pip's unique brand of wisdom, suggested, it sounds to me like you need Professor Quentin Quibble. He's a psychologist, an expert on assertiveness training. He wrote that book. Yes is a 4-letter word. Jazz was skeptical. No, I don't need any book. It won't help me. Well, if you disagree with someone, you can hit him on the head with it, Pip mused, especially if it's a heavy subject. Later, Jazz found himself in Professor Quibble's office, a room filled with strange animal figurines. Yes, Mr. Finch, sit down, Quibble commanded. Jazz immediately sat. Why did you sit down? Quibble asked, a glint in his eye. You told me to. Do you do everything people tell you to? Jazz hesitated. Well, of course not. Then stand up. Jazz stood, then immediately realized his mistake. You did it again. You learn fast, Finch. You're going to be a good student, Quibble said, a self-satisfied smirk on his face. Self-image, Finch, it's a powerful tool. I've controlled your every move since you came into this room, and that is what I can teach you. Quibble then launched into his bark method. Be somebody, act like somebody, react like somebody, know your rewards. Now, when you feel like you're losing an argument, bark. He demonstrated a series of guttural barks that left Jazz wide-eyed. Now, let me hear you, Finch, bark. Jazz, feeling ridiculous, tried, okay, arf. Again, burr, 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 Quibble urged. Jazz, surprisingly, found it exhilarating. That feels great. This is exactly what I'm looking for, Doctor. Buoyed by his new assertiveness, Jazz confronted Chancellor Blackwood. Chancellor Blackwood, I'm not coming to your house Saturday night. Blackwood, taken aback, scoffed. Don't be silly, Finch, of course you are. I'll see you at 5:30. My time is worth money, and I'm not working for you for nothing. Jazz declared, channeling his inner elephant. Finch, have you been smoking any of those things from the health food class? Blackwood demanded, you don't show up, you don't graduate. How do you like that? Then I'll tell my friend from the Coral Cove Times to go ahead with his story about how a high college official uses his position to get slave labor from his students. How do you like that? Jazz retorted, the bark method giving him an unexpected surge of courage. Blackwood stared, then slowly deflated. Finch, why didn't you say you didn't want to come? Of course, you're excused. Thank you, Mr. Finch. Jazz, feeling triumphant, strode out, a new spring in his step. I like you, Chancellor. You're okay. Back at the apartment, Bee and Pip were poring over wallpaper samples for the bathroom. Chrissy, we've been through this wallpaper book 3 times. Why can't you make up your mind? B side. Because I